My guest today is Claire Hatton, Industry Director for Google Australia and New Zealand. Welcome to In Her Shoes.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little about your role at Google.
Sure. Well, my role as Industry Director is really to help businesses understand the opportunities that are online and to help them use our Google platform and our tools to make the most of those opportunities.
We still see a lot of small businesses just starting to understand the power of using the internet for their business, and even though it's been around for a long time. One of the reasons that they do it is cost. So how does that play into the development of new products and services for Google?
Sure. Well, I mean, I guess cost efficiency is one of the great things about online. You know, no more do you need that really expensive retail shopfront. Now you can actually be somewhere that's much cheaper and use your website as your front of shop. What Google does is that we help people find information, and we connect people who are searching for things with small businesses and large businesses so that they can come together in a really, really efficient way and targeted way.
One of the things that I often say is that if I search for you and I don't find you, you really don't exist. I don't care that you're in the printed directory or that you've got a shop front. You don't exist. How important is it that people optimise these online opportunities?
Well, I think it's really critically important. Being online now is as important as having a telephone in my book. And I think if you don't have some kind of online presence, then you're right, you are invisible. It is very easy nowadays, though much easier than it used to be, to actually get online. You know, whether that's the first baby step around listing on things like Google Places, or whether it's, you know, using one of the a new initiative that we've got, getting Aussie Business Online with MYOB, where you can get a free website. That's very easy. But then it's about, you know, actually being found. And that is a critical piece, and a piece where, you know, there are many tools, both free and paid tools, that allow you to connect and be found by those people who are searching for that information.
And being found is obviously very, very important. And as you said, there are free and there's paid tools. What I love is the opportunity to know if what I'm doing is working, because many of us have spent a lot of money on advertising that we just don't know, it just kind of evaporates. So how important is it for your customers that they can measure?
Well, I think it's actually critical, and I think, you know, Google Analytics is obviously a free product that we make available to anyone who wants to use it. And the whole thing is that we thought it was very important for people to understand and be able to optimise the efficiency of what they're doing online. So it's measuring is critical, because, as you say, you know, in the past we've spent our money on, you know, various different media, but not really known whether we were being successful or not. You know, I think they always say something about, you know, I know 50% of my marketing spend is inefficient, but I've got no idea which bit. Now you can.
Again, you know, without this being a whole infomercial, for Google, you do have amazing tools. They are very efficient. What is it that you feel that not only your products, but competitor products enable us to do now that, you know, 3 or 4 years ago we're just unheard of?
Yeah, well, I think there's a couple of things. I mean, one is it's opening up new business models. So for example, I mentor I mentor about 3 small businesses. One of them is a holiday stays business, and their front of shop is their website. Now, in the past, that wouldn't have been possible. You wouldn't have been able to reach a global audience, you know, with a shop front and a few leaflets. Now, online has completely changed that. So many, many new ways to get new business models. I think the second thing is that it's enabled us to connect much easier. So, for example, you know, in the past, I've just maybe done a DR, And
can you explain DR?
Yeah, sure. So a direct response, so maybe a flyer or something, and I've put that into people's post boxes. I've got no idea whether they're actually interested or not, and probably 95% of them aren't,
Yes.
and 5% are. Now we've got ways through technology to be able to connect you with those 5%, so you don't have to waste the rest of the money on that other 5%.
Let me ask you though, if I'm a restaurant in Surrey Hills in Sydney, are you saying that that is not a valid way to go around and put something in the
Well, I
letterboxes?
think, look, I think every way is a valid way if it works for you, if you can measure it, if you feel comfortable that you're getting good results, then great. But I think that there are probably better ways to do that, and certainly to experiment. You know, testing is a great thing, experiment, find out if that works for you. Nowadays, I mean, if I was a restaurant, for example, mobile is probably going to become very important to me.
Right.
Because you're able to actually target people within a location that's literally within, 50 metres. So that technology is just going to change the way in which you target your customers.
Okay, very good. Is there anything else that you'd like to leave us with?
Well, look, I think that for me, being found online is one of the critical things. In fact, it is. If you don't have a website, which amazingly more than 50% of small businesses don't have a
understand
website.
it.
Well, actually, I do understand it. I understand it because it's about perspective. It's about being in the hamster wheel of everyday life, and building a website in the past has actually been quite a scary thing. It's been relatively costly. You've had to spend quite a bit of time doing it, but things have changed and now it's much, much easier. So I think, being as a small business, as I said before, if you don't have a website, it's like not having a phone. And if you think of it like that, then it comes to the top of your priority list.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.